'Cause smiling faces, sometimes they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies. And you're the proof. See, I shuddered when I heard you say, loneliness is incredible. How indelible the depths of solitude, the grandeur of oneness breathtaking. Even a million hands reaching out seem too far away. So low in the well that you neglect your wellness, and it might seem selfish, but this self-isolation is selfless. Because how would your mum feel if she saw your son so helpless, but paste a mask on and face to stay with grace even though you feel graceless? See, when you cast aside your loved ones, you're only left with memories, times when you assimilated smiles from friends, not similes like, I'm lonely. Lonely like the summer orchard with one apple. Lonely like the only spring pea in the pod. Lonely like the single dandelion seed in the winds of autumn, or the last polar bear in the shrinking ice of the Arctic. Cold. I dreamt of this last night. I'm lonely like the summer orchard with one apple. Lonely like the only spring pea in the pod. Lonely like a single dandelion seed in the winds of autumn, or the last polar bear in the shrinking ice of the Arctic. Cold. See how your support system melts away, but it's still freezing because water stays at zero until all the solids turn to liquid. Cold. And it's not said best in song because Akon was too literal, and time to be by yourself because relationships are collateral, and draw from the empty world that you dry cry, not tears, and no reaching out because who cares? Because it's just one of those days, just one of those days. But Marion called it an icebox, and that's so ironic. Exposed to frost so long your heart's hypothermic. So much so it no longer beats, it shivers, indifference to what love could even deliver. Cold. Because you're a tragedy attractor, panic attacker, pearl of wisdom selling its shell at figures. And this might seem cold, but sometimes you feel like a human trafficker, a soul migrant who sold his people down the river. Cold. Because what happens when your grounding is gone and you never learn to swim? That lean, mean machine full of vim, flailing, is that thin layer of ice you keep slipping on, caves in, and then terra firma begins to rescind, and breathing starts to fail you, and you vision every moment you've seen, from pure joy and nights out with the boys and seeing family win, to every terrible argument, but every night you still held her, covering her wounds with bare skin, and every time that you sinned, and every time that you sinned, and you sinned, and you sinned, and you sinned, this is not how it should have been. Cold. You told yourself alone is bold, but instead it's friendly fire within. And that's cold. See, you could have been a man that imploded, but you shared this. You stepped out of catastrophe and you steered your ship away from the glacier, and this makes you the strongest man I know. You let the North Star guide you, and that led you to a constellation of embraces. But remember, my friend, even Atlas shrugs sometimes. For every trough, there's a peak. So let's ride this wave together and amplify what's on your mind until your frequencies realign. Loneliness is incredible, but letting people in is even more immense. I love you, bro.